Hi, and thanks for joining me to learn all about the Babylock Enlighten Overlocker. I'm Anna, and I am proud to say that I work here at the sewing studio. And I'm going to talk you through all the machine's features. I'm going to show you everything that comes in the box. I'll show you how to thread the machine, all its capabilities, and then I'll talk a bit about warranty and support. Now, we've split all of those into chapters, so if there's a particular section you're interested in, feel free to head straight there. So the Babylock Enlighten Overlocker is slightly larger than standard size overlockers, but it's still portable. It weighs around 9 kilos, and there's a handle here to help you carry it around. Now, it's got a nice powerful motor in there to help cope with various different types of fabric, and its top speed is 1500 stitches per minute, so it really can plough through those projects. There's multiple different stitch options that can be achieved, right from a 4-thread overlock down to a fine 2-thread rolled hem. And this machine also has wave stitch capabilities, which is a great decorative effect, and I'll show you that when we get to the sewing section. Now, at the back of the machine here, there's space for 4 large thread spools. And then this guide, it stays down here when you're transporting the machine so that it don't break it, but it does just pop up for you to pop your thread in so they don't get tangled. And it just pops down like that. And then each thread has its own clear path down through the machine. Now, you'll notice on the front here there are no dials to control the tension, and that's because this machine comes with auto tension. Down in here there is a dial here to fine tune the lower looper tension, and it is, as it suggests, just like fine tuning a radio. So if you want to get them absolutely perfect, I mean, it does a pretty good job on its own, which you'll see, but there is a fine adjustment there should you want to make that happen. When it comes to threading the loopers, it's all done by air, so it's very simple. You just pop a piece of thread in there, press your button, and boom, it's gone through for you. Down here as well, you'll find this gadget attached to the upper looper, and it's called an upper looper converter, and that's used when you're doing 2-thread stitches because you don't need the upper looper, but you need to cancel it out. Now, in a lot of machines, that's a separate attachment that's very easy to get lost, but on here it's all attached, and you simply engage it when you need it and disengage it when you don't need it. Right, let me pop those back up. The presser foot over here sits higher than standard overlockers, so it sits at 8mm high, so you can get your bulky items in underneath. And you can adjust the pressure that's on the presser foot as well. That's with this dial on the top here. And that helps when you're working with something fine that can sometimes get chewed up in the feed teeth. When it comes to threading the needles, there's a built-in needle threader that switches between the left and right needle to help you get the thread through the eye. And the needles themselves are sat vertically. Traditionally, they're normally on an angle, but having them vertically means that they penetrate the fabric with more precision and more power, which means you get better results. Now, the feed teeth, there's 2 sets of feed teeth. That's normal for most overlockers, and they have what's called differential feed, which means that you can adjust the speed of the teeth at the front to either achieve a gather or to help with waviness on really stretchy fabric. And that's adjusted over here by this lever. On the side here, we've got a stitch selector, and then here is where you choose between your overlock stitches and your wave stitch. Over here, you've got the adjustable cutting width. You can also disengage the cutting blade as well. That's this little dial here. And then down here, you can alter the length of your stitch. So there's a couple of hidden gems as well. So for instance, this piece opens out so that you can keep everything nice and clean and maintained. Down here, there is a needle catch tray. So if you're changing the needle and you drop one, or if you break one, it's going to fall onto there so you can find it nice and easily. I'll just pop that there for now. And then over here, there's a storage compartment where you'll find some of the accessories that come with the machine. Now, the machine arrives like this, albeit not plugged in, but the power lead and foot control are absolutely in the box. The standard presser foot will already be attached, along with this range of accessories, including a dust cover, and they fit nice and neatly in these little pouches. You also have a full instruction manual and a quick reference guide as well for setting the machine up for the different stitch options. So let's head into the sewing section now, and I'll show you how to thread the machine and its capabilities. So I'm going to set the machine up for a standard 4-thread overlock so that you can see how every element of the machine threads. So just pop the covers down, and the first thing you need to do is lock the machine into the threading position, and that's done by turning this lever to threading, and then move the hand wheel towards you until you hear that click, and then everything is locked into place. And then make sure that the presser foot is up as well, so that these tension discs are open. And then you want to grab your thread. It doesn't matter what order you thread these in. I'm just going to do the lower looper first. So it goes through the thread guide at the top, and then there's also one at the back here which the thread physically pops into like that. And then you just come down the front of the machine in behind that piece of metal, and then we're doing the lower looper, so we want to go in the hole for the L, pop about 1/2 inch of thread in there, press the button, and then the looper is threaded. So we're going to do the same for the upper looper. So I'm just going to grab that thread in the guide at the back, down the front of the machine, behind that guide, pop 1/2 inch of thread in the hole, press the button, and then you can see that one's threaded. So that's the loopers done. For the needles, we want to grab the thread again in the back guide, down the front, under that pin, over, and then in behind the guide just there. I'm not going to do the needle threader just yet because we need to pop the presser foot down. So as soon as we do that, these discs will be closed, which I don't want to then forget, and the left needle won't sit in them. So I'm going to put that through there first, under this guide, around, in behind there. Okay, so now I'm going to drop the presser foot, and because the machine is locked, the needles are in the right place for the needle threader. And then you switch between the left and right needle with this little piece of metal here that either goes to the right or to the left. So I'm going to do the right one first, and then you want to bring the needle threader down, grab both sides of the thread and put it in between the gap there, and then pull that back up. I grab my tweezers, and then you've got your loop here that you can pull through. So I'm just going to pull that through into the back of the machine, and I'm going to do the left needle in the same way, but switch the needle threader over to the left needle, bring the threader down, pop the thread in the gap, and then push that back up, and there's your loop in behind for you to pull through. Lovely. So I'm just going to grab that thread and put it behind there, as well as the looper thread. Raise my foot so that they can go in underneath. And the lower looper thread are just trimmed to a couple of inches, and leave that there. So before you go ahead and stitch, you need to unlock the machine, because obviously everything is stuck, and you do that by simply turning this lever back to the serging. Now, in terms of the other settings, in terms of the stitch selector length and width, I'm going to follow the quick reference guide. So you can see it tells us to use the left and right needle for the 4 thread overlock, which is what we've done. The length anywhere between 2.5 and 3.5, so that's going to depend on your fabric. So I'm just going to move that to 3. Width between 6 and 7.5, which is this middle position here, and that's where your cutting is going to happen. On stitch selector A, which we are, and then the wave selector needs to be on overlock because we're doing an overlock stitch, not a wave stitch. Okay, so I'm going to grab my cotton, pop the presser foot down, and overlock. Just going to cut my threads on the cutter on the side. And there's your lovely, neat overlock. That's on the top, get rid of that, and that's underneath. Now, when it comes to the auto tension, I'm going to switch between a few different fabrics just to show you how true that is. So let's start with some muslin, which is obviously quite fine. I'm going to move on to cotton. Denim. leather, some thick fleece, and finally some jersey. Okay, let me show you the results on each one. So there's the muslin, a lovely result. Cotton, just as lovely. Denim, leather, the fleece, and then the jersey. And you can see the machine has automatically adjusted the tension to suit each types of fabric so that we don't have to keep adjusting it. When sewing with jersey, you can sometimes have this waviness appear depending on how stretchy the fabric is. But it's easy to counteract that. It's nothing to do with the tension. You just increase the differential feed by 1. Might need to be more depending how stretchy your fabric is. And what that does is it speeds up the teeth in the front. So that the end result is a nice flat piece of jersey. So to achieve an actual gather, all you do is just put your differential feed up to the maximum of 2 and increase your stitch length to maximum of 4. Grab your fabric and gather. And there's your perfect gather. Now if we look back at the 4-thread overlock stitch on the fleece, you can see it's quite tight because it's a thicker material. Now the machine has handled it really well, but obviously that's why there's different stitch options on the machine for different types of fabric. And if we go back to our quick reference guide, you can see some different options that we have here. So you've got a 3-thread overlock wide. So that's achieved by just removing the right needle, and that looks like that. You can then achieve a narrow one by removing the left needle. You've got a 3-thread narrow hem, and that looks like this, and that's really good for any medium to heavyweight fabrics where you want a finer hem. You've also got 3-thread rolled hem here. Let me move this up. And this one here, which looks like that, which is for obviously lighter weight fabrics and sheer fabrics. And then you've got a 3-thread flat lock seam. And that looks like this. And on the underside is like a ladder effect. And this is really good because it sits flat, hence why it's called a flat lock. It's really good for kind of dancewear, sportswear, things like that. Now you can also achieve 2-thread overlocking. And again, you would just follow through the guide like we did for 4-thread. So you can get the flat lock, again, you can do in 2-thread, and you've got either a wide option there or a narrow. And these look slightly different because these are using a fluffy Aeroflock thread in the loopers, which we're going to move on to next. So we're going to set the machine up for a 3-thread wave stitch using fluffy thread on the loopers, and that's this thread here. Actually, I might get the blue one because you might see it a bit better. And it is, as the name suggests, it's fluffy and it's got a little bit of stretch to it as well. So it gives a nice effect on these kind of decorative type stitches, but it's also really good to use for fabrics where you need movement, so jersey, lycra, things like that. So the first thing I'm going to look at is the needle. So we only need to use the right needle. I've already completely unthreaded the machine, but now we need to take the left needle out completely. So even though it's got no threads through it, if we leave the needle in there, when sewing, the machine will try and loop around it, which is not what we need it to do. It won't make the stitch look right. So I'm just going to undo the needle clamp screw at the top, drop the needle out, and then do this back up again, just so that it doesn't fall out while we're sewing. Okay. And then we're going to get the 3 elements threaded. So now we're using the 2 loopers and the right needle. So I'm going to lock the machine. And then I'm going to look at the diagram to see which thread path the thread go on. So I'm going to start with the lower looper, and I can see that it's in the normal lower looper path. So exactly the same as we did for 4-thread overlock. I'm just going to take my thread through the guide, pop it in the one in the back, down the front. Again, make sure the presser foot is up so these discs are open. Pop some thread into the lower looper hole, and then press my button, and then there it is, threaded. Now I can see the upper looper is slightly different. So it comes around and it actually goes through what was the right needle channel. Now don't forget that this machine has auto tension. So there will be different tensions set on each one depending on the stitch that you're using, which is why there's a different thread path. So I'm going to go down through the front and then in the upper looper hole. There we go, that's threaded. And then the right needle now goes through what was the left needle channel. So I'm just going to grab the end of that thread, pop it up here, down in, around, down, in behind there. And then I'm going to drop my presser foot to give the needle threader some more room. Put it back to left, just move that out of the way. Bring the needle threader down. Pop the thread in there, draw it back up, and again there's our loop. Okay, pop that under there, pop that under there. So that's all our elements threaded. So I'm going to pop it back to serging and close those up. The length, it's a narrower length, so 0.5 to 2.5 is what you can achieve, and you would just adjust that depending on the thickness of your fabric. I'm going to be using a piece of fleece, so I'm going to go quite narrow. I might just keep it at 1. The width is anywhere between 3 and 5, so I'm just going to go for the middle. Let's go to 4. Stitch selector needs to be on B, so I just move that down, and then the wave selector needs to be on wave, because obviously we're doing a wave stitch and not an overlock. And that's all you need to do. So I'm going to grab my fabric and sew the wave stitch. Okay. And there's our decorative wave stitch. That's on the top and that's underneath. Now you can also do a rolled hem in that stitch as well, and that's what it stitches out like there. And this is really useful for if you want decorative seams, decorative hems, you know, across the top of a pocket, all sorts of things you can create. So this machine comes with 2-year warranty, and if you register your machine within 3 months of purchasing, that extends a further 2 years, so 4 years in total. And there is a sticker on the side of the box that tells you how to do that. And don't forget that we are here at the Sewing Studio as well to help you with anything that you might need with your new machine. Now I hope I've managed to demonstrate to you the capabilities of the Babylock Enlighten Overlocker and just how easy it is to use and the beautiful results that it produces. Now if you've decided that this is the right machine for you, head on over to our website and grab yours now. Delivery is fast and it's also free. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.